Are you ready to talk about all the fun stuff? Like dating and falling in love. Are you ready for going Dutch? And Jake and Kane will make you smile. They'll talk about stupid stuff for a while. You will enjoy this a lot, or you're a f***. This is called Going Dutch. Thank you.
I
More
love
microphones.
I love the idea of wasting energy by not using it. See an outlet over there that's not being used, huh?
Just your energy's gonna go bad. Your energy's will age like milk. You got to use it.
Dude.
All right, plug in a light bulb. Get your charger in there, even if you don't need it. I don't know why he's from Chicago now, but hey,
Dude, Dr. Pepper, that's the thing, is he is that guy who's from everywhere.
yeah,
Dr. Pepper's been around.
he could be from anywhere. Hey, that's why they call me Dr. Pepper. Okay.
Ugh. Dude, I can't wait to really fully meet this guy.
This guy's so great because he's concerned for you, but it bugs him to his core.
Yeah.
Like he's concerned that you're not using all your energy because he doesn't understand how electricity works.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting around. And he's just like, okay, got a couple of plugs in that outlet. That's good to see. That's good to see because the space in this room, you got a lot of energy.
You go in a lot of people's houses and you see a lot of empty plugs, huh? It's like that's how kids are gonna throw a little screwdriver in there and go, uh-oh, whoopsie doopsie, I got electrocuted.
I am also a part-time real estate agent, and I don't show a house unless every plug in the house is used. Because I need to show them, first of all, where they are. And second of all, how many plugs can be plugged up with your electronics so they know I'm not wasting energy. I don't want them to think I'm just as one of these liberal cucks that doesn't like using his energy. I use it.
Elon Musk.
Fuck the polar bears.
Elon Musk comes out, and he's putting just USBs in the walls. Ain't no way. I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. I need real outlets.
That's why I have electric cars. I plug them into the outlets out. When I see a bunch of electric car spaces not being used, I freak out. I lose it. I run right to the Tesla dealership. I buy 9. I fill them up. I plug them in. You're wasting energy for the city. Seriously, I don't think people get it. And that's why they call me Dr. Pepper.
And that's why they call me Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. Welcome to Going Dutch, the comedy podcast starring 2 lovely, beautiful, mustachioed men. Pistachioed men.
We do got some nuts on this. Featuring Brazil nuts.
Brazil nuts. We are actively eating Brazil nuts. We did a podcast once before, and we will do it again. But also, we just recorded and we're hungry. So we're going to eat Brazil nuts while we do this podcast. I'm your host. I'm one of them, Kane Holloway.
I'm your other host, Short Jake.
He's short. He's Jake. You know him. You love him. He's also Howie Dewit.
I am also how we do it.
He's how we do it.
And this is how we do it.
That's your nickname. You're how we do it.
Starring me, Dr. Pepper.
I'm Dr. Pepper, and that's why they call me Dr. Pepper. Because also I give out nicknames. You don't know that about me.
This is how we do
This
it.
is this is how we do it. And, it's Friday night, and the moon is right.
Dude.
Gonna have some fun, show you how it's done. This is how we do it.
Dr. Pepper's the guy where, like, someone opens a champagne bottle and he goes, whoa, 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 how we do it. And they're like, what? This is how we do it. This is how we
do it. Ba, 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 ba. Anyway,
Oh, man.
we're out of our minds today because so many good things are happening in the Going Dutch comedy sphere. We're working. We work as hard as we work. We also play super hard. Pickleball. We've been pickleballing it up, and we smack pickleballs around. And I have a real cursing problem in your very
true.
nice, white, rich neighborhood.
It's true. We live in a, like, ridiculously nice, like certainly, like, half the people in this neighborhood are drinking, like, baby's blood before they go to sleep. Like this, we live in Mar-a-Lago. It is creepy over here. But anyway, we're playing in like a really nice ritzy like shore club place, and Kane will miss a shot and just be like, "Fuck!
My favorite.
I fucking suck."
Yeah, my favorite curse word in the world is cunt. I think it's just the best. I think it's not used enough in our country because people will try to equate it to the N-word, like it's just as hurtful as the N-word.
Whoa, who's
Yeah.
doing that?
Some ladies who don't like being called cunts.
All right.
I've heard it before where it's like I said cunt on stage, and this woman came up to me and she was like, "That's not okay. That's like saying the N-word."
That's my N-word.
Yeah, and I just was, I'm like sitting there going, it's just truly not the case, and this is one of the oldest arguments people make when they hear a word they don't like, that
Dude.
it is somehow remotely, possibly kind of similar to a word you won't say out loud to me.
Could you imagine, dude, how funny that there are people who hear a word that they don't like and they're like, no, that's my N-word.
Yep.
You can't say that when I'm around.
Well,
You have to wait till I'm not around. You have to wait until you're alone with your friends.
Oh, dude, I want to tell you this story.
Wait, can I get a cunt pass, though?
I want to tell you this story because we're talking about the word cunt, which is my favorite, and it's used so differently in Europe. Because it's just like, it's a term of endearment in Europe. So I just find it weird that we can't embrace that over here. Anyway, I'm outside in my apartment complex walking my dog, and there's this old man on a bicycle, this old British man, and he's getting close. Every time he gets close to somebody who's in his way on the bike path, he goes, "Biker," to them, and they don't know what that means. And so he has to say it a couple times because they don't know that he's yelling biker at them in his British accent, in his old man British accent. So he's going, biker, biker, right? So they move and they're startled and then they're mad because they're like, what? So then he gets to this guy he's like plugged in. He's on his phone and he's walking his dog, and the old man on the bike gets like right on his heels and he's going, biker, 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 and the guy just unfazed, doesn't even hear it, has no clue anyone's behind him. So louder. Now he's like leaned over his handlebars in the guy's ear going, biker, biker. Finally, the guy like realizes someone's yelling at him, turns and looks, and they make direct eye contact. And the old man again, now even louder, goes, biker. The guy has one of my favorite reactions I think I've ever seen. He just like looks, realizes an old man is yelling at him, and then goes, I don't know what the fuck that means. Fuck! Like screams the word fuck. He's just like, the thing I love most about it is that you can tell he's getting mad that he's being yelled at. Then when it's like he realized he was mad. Then he got even madder and was like, I don't want to feel this right now. Fuck! So when he says to the old man on the bike, I don't know what that means, the old man speeds up, gets past him, and goes, it means get out of my way. Biker! He kept yelling biker at people. And I was like, this is the greatest thing.
This is in Pacific Beach?
Yeah, this happened in Pacific Beach. It was the greatest thing ever.
Dude,
it was so funny.
Also, wow, that is so funny. As I'm the person who gets mad at not understanding what someone's saying and gets mad at like the universe. Like, I don't know what that means. Fuck is really a funny person.
I love that guy.
And like a funny reaction. And I think like a lot of millennials struggle with this. When we get mad, we're trained to never be mean to anybody or be mad at people. So we like don't know what to do. And now we're like adults with like so much rage in our bones that we're just like we're screaming. But also, if you're from another country where your accent is very hard to understand. Come on, man.
Come on, give us a break.
Biker!
Biker!
Like, I know you could say biker.
He could.
I know you could try.
He didn't.
Because I could say biker.
Biker.
Like, not hard.
No.
You could say biker.
Biker. Hello?
Hello, biker. I love when British people do American accents. It's like when they're making fun of us.
Mhm.
It is so funny to watch them
It's great.
talk like us because we talk so stupid.
We are done.
Everyone talks so dumb. Dude, that is so funny.
Pulling from our Going Dutch dating advice or regular advice bowl. We got a dating advice question here. What should I do about my fiance lying to me about where he is?
Whoa.
Whoa. What the fuck?
That's pretty serious business right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to you about that.
Yeah.
If your significant other is lying about where they're going or what they're doing, that's no bueno.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, get out of that quick.
Yeah, I would not be his fiance. I would, if he won't tell you what's up and you confront him and you do your best to try to have a civil, open conversation about where he is or where she is and what they're doing, and they won't tell you, it's time to start thinking about an exit strategy.
Yeah, for
And
real.
do not go forward with the
Put that
marriage.
ring on eBay tonight.
Tonight.
Hey,
do
where'd
not
my
do
ring
it.
go? I
Mhm.
don't know.
You just, if you can't trust somebody, if they won't tell you, then just don't do it.
Oh, dude.
Get out of it and find something else.
Literally, my girlfriend walked out of this house about 45 minutes ago. I have no idea where she's going. She's coming home alone tonight. She's going to have to find a new place by tomorrow. You think you can just walk out of here like that?
Dude, my favorite show right now is Below Deck.
Below deck.
Below Deck. It's my friend Deck.
My favorite show is Below Dick. That's just called porn, Kane.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what's the show you're watching right now? Oh, dude, it's called Pornhub.com, and it's stepmoms are stuck in the dryer.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
It's so good. They're
Great
always
show.
stuck in their dryers.
Reality show, yeah.
Anyway, Below Deck is great. If you don't know about Below Deck, it's a reality show following the crew of a mega yacht and how they interact with each other, and also dealing with the 1% rich who can
That's
take
so
this out
funny.
for a few days, take this yacht out, and they have all these toys, and it's all this fun shit. Anyway, the bosun, the first mate of this boat, him and his girlfriend are having a rough time, and he then admits to the camera that while he was on charter, she cheated on him, and then he decided to stick it out. But now he's back on charter, and he doesn't trust her, and you can tell through the phone calls, and he's like constantly on his phone. And it's like the season before when him and his girl were good. He was so good at his job, funny, like the best dude to be around. Now he's being tortured by his own relationship.
Oh,
He's just like, he can't focus on work. He's mean. He's like right below the captain. So whatever the captain says, and the captain's also like, if your crew's fucking up, this is a you thing, and I might have to replace you.
yeah.
So get your crew in line. So now he's just a fucking asshole to everyone.
Whew.
And everyone's just like, this
Been
dude-
there.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm looking at him and I'm like, buddy, I wish I could be on the boat this season to just be like, guy, you gotta dump her.
Yeah,
you
that's
have
it.
to.
That's the only solution.
That's the only. It's like, if you don't trust her, let's say she's not out riding dick. So let's just say she's just being at home, and that's truly what she's doing. You don't know unless you have her like Skyping with you 24/7 during your entire charter season, buddy boy. It is not worth
Also,
it.
man, it's just so much more about you at this point than it is about her.
It
Like,
is.
You're just obsessed with being right or winning, or like I said, I've been that guy.
Mhm.
Like, as soon as I broke up with that person, I was like, the freedom. Like,
Yeah.
it sucked. Breaking up it felt impossible. And then
Mhm.
once I did, I was like, oh my God, I was mad.
Yeah.
I wanted to like win, or like I wanted to feel like you would love me or something, and
Mhm.
like give me the trust that I felt I deserved. It's never gonna happen, pal.
No.
And you're gonna become a monster.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, dump this guy. This guy sucks.
Yeah. Boo.
Why does my BF always prefer to have morning sex? I've thrown myself at him at night, cute outfits, the works, but nothing, nada. 7 a.m. rolls around and the cock grows. What is that?
That was quite a story. She
I
told.
know. Holy shit, man. We got a little like Hemingway. You know what I mean? Fucking the young girl and the cock. Young, I mean like 25.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Fuck.
it's all right. I'll just blow past it. Yeah, I don't know about that either. That's a weird one. Morning sex is I could go either way on morning sex.
I'm personally a fan. I think it's like a great way to get out of bed in the morning. I also think like I sometimes, man, going to sleep, it's like I'm just trying to fucking go to sleep, and there's like a cleanup and a mess, and there's no one like has sex, ends, and then they just go to sleep.
Yeah, it's not like the movies.
No.
God, movie sex must be amazing. To like live in a movie, to be a character in a movie, and to have sex with a hot girl, and then roll over and just go to sleep.
Yeah, and they do too. It's like, no, what do you mean?
You gotta pee. You could get a urinary tract infection.
Dude.
You got a lot of things you gotta
like,
do.
You know, a lot of times, you know, if you're using a condom, you gotta go like, you know, pull that off.
Oh, I hate it.
It's a night. Honestly, the aftermath of sex at night is enough for me often to be like, I'll just go to sleep. Where
It's true.
the morning is like, all right, I got to get out of bed now.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to start my day. Go get a cup of coffee, and my day's fucking flying. I'm zinging because my balls are empty, and I can think straight for fucking 8 hours.
I agree. And that's the thing about morning sex for me is like sometimes I'll roll over, I'll be so groggy, and yeah, my dick will be hard because I still get morning wood, but I have no interest in fucking because it's just that's where the blood just happened to sleep that night. You know, it has nothing to do with horniness. And so I'll just like, and then other days I'll wake up and I'll just be like, yo, I could fuck right now. But the other thing is like I could fuck at any time, really. If my girlfriend's down, I will fuck at any time.
They have the key. Like the door's unlocked, you know. You just let me know when. But I mean, yeah, it's like at night if my girlfriend was trying, I wouldn't be like, no. But it's like if I had my preference, you know. But that's pretty funny.
I do think it's strange that the guy won't. She's in her sexy outfits. I mean, lingerie, man. I hate to be such a simple caveman at times, but if I see my girlfriend in sexy lingerie, it's fucking over.
Dude,
for me. I don't care what I'm doing.
Lingerie does like nothing for me. It looks like medieval. Like, why are you wearing like drapes?
Oh,
like the like patterns and stuff. But like, there's like Calvin Klein underwear that girls wear. I'm into that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's the type of lingerie I'm talking about.
I'm
But if it's like, if it's like a flowy
Lace.
nightgown, like she drowned on the Titanic, then I'm not into that.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know what that is.
Like she dresses up like a ghost. And I'm like, I'm not into this shit.
That like, that lacy thing, or where it's like, what I don't like things that are too thin. Like I don't like thin bikinis that just cover the nipple. It just, the way that it hugs around the skin makes them look like deli meat, and I'm not into that.
Bro, I just don't like when they look like they walked out of a Tim Burton film, you know? It's like it's just gross.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But like I honestly think like leggings and like a sports bra, that
is so
tight.
hot, bro.
That
is
cool
amazing.
Shit.
It's so good.
That is like so insane that like girls have convinced themselves that they need to wear that to work out, because like that's just not true.
Crazy.
At all.
I know.
Because it is like you might as well, you know, you're out. Honestly, it does more for your outline than being completely nude. It's pretty crazy. And
it's
I wish
I mean, there's a lot of
it's like
categories.
a mustache and a haircut for a lot of guys these days. I'm like, if you didn't have that mustache and that haircut, you'd be an uggo.
There is like, if you're like 6'4" with a mustache, you could have a garbage personality. Some girl is gonna try and fuck you.
Every girl, dude, it's if you are 6'4" with a mustache, fucking Bob's your uncle. Is that how that works?
I think so. I believe so. All right, we got a little.
Just start putting different phrases in the wrong place.
Do you?
If you're 6'4" and have a mustache, man, Rome wasn't built in a day.
If you're 6'4" with a mustache, kill two birds with one stone. I've always said that. That's why they call me Dr. Pepper.
When in Rome.
Do you still fuck if he doesn't have a bed frame, only one pillow, and no comforter?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, yeah, yes. He might be problematic, but also it's like if you showed up at a dude's house and he had a comforter and like those like fake pillows that no one uses, you know.
Mhm.
He had like 5 pillows on his bed and like flowers on his
Or
nightstand.
he had one shaped like the Boba Fett helmet.
And in the corner is a life-size cutout of Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls. It's like you're not fucking that guy either.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Kevin McAllister? Did I pick him up from the bar?
That's what, like, I love when girls are like, oh, he has like, you know, nothing in his house. There's just like a chair and like a pizza box. And I'm like, yeah, the guy's, you know,
He's
he's
single.
bacheloring. You
Mhm.
know, he's living his life. Where it's like, it's the same level of weirdness when you walk into a guy's place and it's like so clean and nice.
Done up and yeah.
Where you're like, either this guy's going to kill me.
Yeah, this
and
is American
systematically
Psycho.
like cut out my organs and sell them on the black market.
Mhm.
Or I'm going to marry this guy.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
he's gay.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. There is a lot of factors that go into it that you're like, I can get the ick from him having nothing. I'll also get the ick if he is immaculately clean.
Yeah.
But then I'll get the ick if he's crazy dirty. But at the same time, it's like you ever go into a really hot girl's house? It's, in my experience, usually disgusting.
Their
It's
bathroom.
so fucking gross.
Their sink
They're
is
gross.
Yeah.
Hot
Yeah.
girls are disgusting.
Well, hot girls who wear a lot of makeup specifically.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
The makeup gets everywhere. It
Oh
smells
my
like makeup. in
god,
there. Yeah.
they're so gross. And it's like at that point I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have the same discussion with my friends. If I walk in and your house is gross and it smells like snake in there, I'm gonna be fucking like ew, and that's the end of this.
It smells like snake.
It smells like snake. Snake has a smell. What is the acceptable amount of invading personal space, i.e. popping each other's pimples, using same toothbrush, pooping/showering at the same time?
All right, popping pimples is not my thing, but my girlfriend will do it
Girls
to me.
love doing
Yeah.
it. It's so
I don't
weird.
care. Like, it doesn't bother me. It just hurts.
I don't usually want to do it for them.
I would never do it.
No.
It's not my thing.
No.
I would never share a toothbrush.
No.
That is insane to
I
me.
do not want to do
Also,
that either.
pooping while showering, I'm not into it. It's steamy in there, man. It's just sauna-y. It's going to, like, make the shit smell worse. I like to close the door and lock it when I take shit. I'm, like, someone who gets fully naked to shit often. Like, I shake. I get, like, diarrhea knees all the time. Dude, I get shaky knees. You know, I don't know what to tell you, but it's like I don't want anything getting in the way of me and my sphincter just getting out whatever's inside of me.
My God.
And having just a girl's gaze is enough. You know, they're like Medusa. Like when they come around the corner, like I don't shit with the door open, but if I did and Elise came around the corner and saw me, I'd turn to stone.
Yeah, I can't pee if I can't pee. If somebody is, if that door is open, I have to close it. I have pee shyness.
Dude.
I do not want someone looking at me while I'm trying to, and I have such bad pee shyness that it's hard at urinals, and it was really bad in my 20s. Now I've gotten less and less like I give a shit. I don't care. If I really have to go, it's almost like it doesn't matter. Somebody could be behind me whispering in my ear, like, hurry up.
If I really
hurry
have
up.
to go,
Yeah.
all bets are off. But dude, if I'm just going in to be like, I should pee now.
Yeah, and then someone, if you
Brother.
get up to the urinal and then somebody walks in, they don't even have to be going to the next stall. They could just walk in and wash their hands. I'm like, it's done. I gotta go. I should have gone to the urinal. And then I feel like a fool if I just go to the urinal,
Oh, bro.
because I don't want that kind of judgment. I don't want that guy going, oh, I knew it. He's a little pee shy.
Oh, brother, you're fucking preaching to the goddamn choir. I have to like close my eyes and be like 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, and then I push like from my asshole. Like I push my pee through, like from my actual asshole pushes pee out to a point where I've shit my pants standing at urinals more times than I care to admit. When I went on my last tour, I landed in Boston. I was like, I gotta rip like a thick pisser. And I ran to the bathroom, stood at the fucking urinal. 2 guys, like, you know, right and left. And I was like, this will be fine. I'm going to pee. And I was like, pushed, shit my pants. Nothing more embarrassing than that. I had to then throw the underwear out.
Oh God,
Nightmare.
dude, I hate when I do that. I haven't done that in a minute, but I was like going to a job interview and I'm like, I'm gonna pee before I go, and I was already like skirting the line of being on time, and I was peeing and I was like, oh, I'll just let out a quick little fart. Diarrhea shit on my legs. It went down like how, like when you open a diaper and it's just like all over the baby's belly and you're like, how did that even happen? How did it climb from your asshole and then loop around your fucking taint up to your belly button? How is there so much shit everywhere? That's how much I shit. And I was like, oh my God. And I had to take everything off. It got on my dress shirt because it was
You wiped with your chest.
so I had to take everything off and finish. So I throw it all down. Then I had to finish shitting because I was like, it's still coming out. And I'm like, when did this happen? Like, when did there was no rumble in my stomach. And then all of a sudden my body was like, oh, we should get out all these toxins.
Dude.
And then I had to shower. I was late for the interview. And they were like, there's no point.
Dude, fearuria is the most insane feeling. Like, I've had this happen, like, when I had, like a big comedy show, like, where I was, like, really nervous, like, at the beginning. And I would, like, get there, and it'd be, like, the person who's, up gets the light. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to have diarrhea. And my stomach is just, like, turning knots. And scary. Dude, that feeling of getting up on stage and just being like, I could easily lose it.
Mm-hmm.
I could shit through my pants.
Yeah.
That is terrifying. In fact, that is so exhilarating. That's a feeling that most people should have in their real life. Because, like, our parents and stuff went to Nam. Our grandparents went to World War II. I've almost diarrheaed on stage at a comedy show. If you make more money than your boyfriend, should you end it? I mean, it's not fucking 1812.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not dying from, like
Diarrhea.
the flu, dysentery. It's like, I don't know, man. That's really up to you. I think that you should not do that. I think you're a fucking shallow, dumb idiot if money is the only thing that matters to you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's silly if you are with a guy that makes less money and then you're like, well, I make more money. Should I break up with him? It's like, you chose this guy. Why is this all of a sudden now an issue?
Yeah.
You
it's also
chose
like,
him.
how much money do you make? If you're making like $30K a year and he's making like 15, then maybe.
Dude, I dated a millionaire and she was such a shithead, and I thoroughly disliked her by the end of the relationship. And we got into a fight over the phone after we broke up 'cause she was talking shit. And I was getting DMs from her fans that were like, she's talking shit about you. So I was like, yo, what the fuck? And she was just like, I just like, I need somebody on my level. And I'm like, I didn't lie. Like, you knew what I was working with. When you met me, I was living in a shitty apartment on Sunset Boulevard with a stripper as a roommate.
Yeah.
You know what kind of money I'm making.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Now all of a sudden I'm just.
What changed?
What was the big deal?
You're allowed to change your mind, but just admit you're shitty.
Yeah. Don't sit there and make it my fault.
Yeah.
I told you what I made.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't much. It was also during the pandemic. Would you rather have pubes for teeth or teeth for pubes? That's hilarious. Like they kind of jiggled there on your.
Oh, dude, this
like
is
above your balls, like a.
Yeah, but I mean,
like a puka shell
pubes for
necklace?
teeth is just the most disgusting thing I could imagine.
No
so
fucking
it's
way.
teeth for pubes.
Yeah, for sure.
but that is that's just hilarious.
Would you have to wash them, or would they just grow like?
You'd have to brush them.
Yeah, brush them. Would you brush your pube teeth?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, pubes for teeth you can't eat. Everything would be mashed.
I'd get veneers.
I love food.
I'd get them removed. I'd get veneers. Everyone in LA, they just pull down their pants and it's just a perfect, just like set of teeth.
God, like chattering like the Joker.
Yeah, that's insane. All right.
That's a funny question.
got a novel. Say you found a potential partner who seemed to meet most of your requirements, but you were not physically attracted to him. What would you do? Continue to date, hoping things would change, fall in love with his personality, or cut it off? Man, similar shallowness. I think if you're not attracted to them, it's over.
Yeah.
I think like there are situations. There have been girls in my experience in my life who weren't attracted to me, who then, started to enjoy my personality and whatever, and vice versa. There are girls who, there's one girl I know in particular who has a couple like very funny like physical character traits. They're like goofy, like she has like kind of funny teeth. Like
Were they pubes?
yeah, her teeth are pubes. I thought that would be impossible to get over. But the funny thing is that was that her pubes are teeth, and I was like, I'm into this. No, but she like has just kind of like funny teeth, and then like this is so weird, and like also like a lazy eye, like an eye that looks like a little bit to your left. It's funny, but like that's what I'm saying with the like funny character traits. Where it's like she's a beautiful woman, but just has like these like two like kind of funny things that like in my shallow days I would have been like ew. Where, dude, she is like one of the more attractive girls I know in my life. Where it's like I would definitely like it's almost like those flaws I'm into now. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm like it's hot, that's sick.
Well, I think there's a problem with the concept of like what's his personality? Is his personality something that you know inherently is good for you? And so that's what's turning you off, is that the chase.
Did I read this wrong? Is she into his person? I thought she was into his personality but not his looks.
No, I think it was he's banging and he makes money, but his personality is something that needs to grow on her.
But you were not physically attracted to him.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a good question to answer after.
Okay, then I heard it wrong. But yeah, I think if he has all these things, but he is physically, if it is like physically, you're just like, don't, like, I met a girl, we got along famously. She's so sweet and just great and everything, and just like, I just like couldn't get there with her. There's just like, there was some things about her features that I just wasn't attracted to, and I feel dumb and wrong for feeling that way.
Guilt.
I do feel guilt, and because it's like, what a wonderful person, what a great girl, and what a lot of fun a relationship with her could have been like. But at the time, couldn't get past those things, as well as wasn't ready for a relationship. And this girl also kind of felt very much like, this is good for me, and I'm not ready for it.
Yeah. That's a funny feeling that I experience now, where I feel like I'm a good guy, where I'm like, I feel it's wrong for me to not like you more than I do. And then I'm like, but you're still ugly to me. Anyway, it's just a funny way to...
It is so, yeah. And then on top of which, it's like, everything about him is great, except their personality is something that's good for you. You know? So it's like, they're attractive and you would bang their brains out, but then later on it's like, do I want to bang their brains out for the rest of my life? Because they're just so nice to me. They return my calls, and there's no games, and
they have gratitude.
They have gratitude, and they don't have attitude.
Yeah, a lot of gratitude, no attitude.
A lot of ratitude.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Now that's a platitude I want to be a part of. Anyway.
But I think there is some time to you got to retrain your brain to like things that aren't typically things you were normally attracted to.
Totally.
You do have to retrain your brain.
And I feel like it's an interesting take, but I feel like I used to see, and I still feel this way, like whenever I see a dude who's dating a girl that I would say is like objectively less attractive than him, I'm like, that's a good guy. You know?
I understand.
And then I see it feels more common to see hot girls dating guys who are not as hot as them.
Yes.
For a myriad of reasons. Money, funny, nice,
most of
good.
the time funny.
Like, there's like a lot of reasons why a girl would be less shallow. It's amazing to me, but I feel like it's happening less and less. And I feel like there's a lot to say about like there's a lot of movements that are happening, but there's one in particular that I feel like a lot of women are now in the market to fuck a lot more, and now it's becoming a smaller percentage of men who are getting a lot more of those lays. But I think once we at the point where a lot of our friends start to get married and like settle down, then we'll really see where it all falls into place. But it was interesting being in the dating pool and feeling like there were a lot of girls who had zero interest in dating at all, who were out there to get the bone, and they had a very niche set of standards that were very interesting. And also, like, I'm like, go for it, dude.
Yeah.
Guys have been doing this for as long as humanly possible. It's your turn, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Get your bone, dude.
Get
Dog
your-
needs his bone.
That's what I'm saying. All right. I'm going to pull this one. We've already answered that before. And pull this one and then get to our freaking geek of the week. Advice for a successful marriage. How do we not get bored?
Well, neither one of us are married.
Mm-mm.
Kane's been married like 8 times, so he
Okay.
probably has better answers.
Okay.
But all of those failed, so they're not going to be good.
No.
But a successful marriage, I should just say, speaking about a successful relationship, which again, I don't know if anybody has any advice to give anybody else. I feel like it's the same thing what we were talking about on the last pod about like masculinity. It's like there is no such thing as a relationship that you can look up to, because you are different than the guy or the girl in that relationship, and your significant other is different than the other person. Every relationship is going to have dynamics that are niche and interesting and hard. But I do feel like the number one thing that helps me in my relationship is just like going to therapy with that person and diagnosing how our communication is bad. Like, people are always like, communication. It's like, it is true. It's just different than even the ways you think. It's like the non-verbal communicative part of a relationship is really tricky, that you don't even realize that you're communicating things that are hurtful by your actions.
Sure.
So, like, I have what is seemingly like I'm getting diagnosed with OCD, which is very interesting because I sometimes have these like really bad spells of rumination where I just like I'm just beating myself to death emotionally inside. And Elise will be talking to me and I'm like just telling myself I'm the worst person on the whole planet, but I'm not hearing her talk. And so then she feels like I'm ignoring her, where I'm in my head like already beating myself to death. And then she then is mad at me for feeling like I'm ignoring her, which, like, totally fair. I'm not listening because I'm already hurting myself, you know? And having that moment recently where I communicated that out loud, where I was like, hey, I'm having, like, these really hard moments of ruminating on things that I, like, you know, I feel like I'm a bad person, or I feel like I'm this, that, and the other, and I'm really trying to get to a point where I can, like, forgive myself for different things. And for her to hear that that's where my head goes, and then for her to know that I'm not ignoring her by just like being like when she asks me a question, I'm not just like, yeah, and then that orc stabbed you know, that elf, and that was sick. And then I'm like, what'd you say, babe? It's like my brain isn't like an awesome Hobbit film. It's like, you know, it's sad, it's depressing in there.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, in that you're never fully aware of what's happening. I always take into consideration when things are happening in an argument with a relationship, and then they seem very similar to the reactions seem very similar to things they've told me about past exes. I get sympathetic in that moment to be like, all right, I understand where this hostility is coming from. So I'm going to try to approach this with more sensitivity. Whereas, you know, prior to this, it was much more difficult for me to do that. And I still have problems with hearing something negative about something I've done or said and latching on to the concept that it's like, I didn't mean it that way, and I don't want to call you sensitive, but I'm not a bad guy, so you shouldn't be mad at me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so then I get wrapped up in that, and I try to explain my thinking rather than hearing what the person is saying
Yes.
to me. So then I'm trying to be rational, they're trying to be rational, but the other person seems irrational because it's like, okay, but do you hear what I'm saying? And you're like, yeah. But do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah. And then you're just doing that
I
over
know.
and over and over again. And
How the
yeah.
wires get crossed with only good intentions is pretty crazy.
It's very crazy how most the time you're saying something and you don't think you're saying anything wild.
No.
And then all of a sudden you're in a thing. And vice versa. I've heard things said to me where I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, and then you try to clarify it and you're like, dude. And then there are times where it's like, that was vicious. And
Right.
then other times where I'm like, I'm being sensitive. And I have those moments where it's like, okay, I understand in this instance I was being a baby. I need to relax and pull back.
Those things, like, I can get so justified that what I'm doing is right sometimes, because I've been in so many relationships where I always took the fall. Like, I was the fall guy. So now I'm like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm right. You're wrong. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like right about this one part of the piece, like of the puzzle, where it's like I'm not seeing the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I don't, it's like if I'm not hearing Elise because I'm in my head going through like my hell that I'm dealing with, and she's mad, pardon me, because I'm not listening. And I'm like, well, I'm doing my own thing. Like I don't need to be here ready to listen at any given time. Like you could have, and it's like that's just not the entire point. Like the point is we're all missing. Like the whole I thought we were making a cake, you thought we were making a pie. That's it. Like we're talking about different fucking things.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time, and like it like evolves. Like you beat it once and then it shows up in like a new way. It's like, hey, you guys thought you were good, how about this time? And you're like, fuck you.
Yeah. It's
Go
just
to hell.
Bowser but bigger.
Yeah. Literally, like I used to think like Super Mario was kind of dumb, because it's just like the same game, and I'm like, that's life. That's a great like parable to just life.
Yeah.
Just jumping over barrels, beating up other monkeys for
sometimes
a princess.
Sometimes you eat flowers and set things on fire.
Yeah.
It's just who you are.
Fuck with me, you know?
Well, with that, let's get to our freak and or geek of the week. Here's our theme song. Okay. What do we got? What do you have? Mine's the same. My freak and geek of the week is the same.
The same as last time?
No. They're the same thing.
Oh, the same
It's
person.
one thing for both subjects. Because I'm going to geek out over this freak.
All right. Well, I don't know which. Well, I think this is right, but I feel like my freak of the week right now is maybe Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, his new special came out.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really like him. The only part that I thought was pretty freaky was like kind of hitting the trans community a few more times.
Just
have no issue with it. I was just kind of like, it just wasn't that funny to me. He had a few jokes in that special to me that were like honestly pretty hacky.
Yeah.
That again, like he's the greatest to me. Like I genuinely, I love him, and I could hear him talk and tell stories for a long time, which was a lot of that. Dreamer was that. But he had a few jokes where I was like, yikes, man, you got to get in front of crowds who hate your guts.
Yeah.
You know, and make them laugh, because it's really weird watching people who like think their shit doesn't stink telling jokes.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be a good joke teller when you're in front of crowds who love you.
Right, exactly. He's hit that pocket he's been in that pocket for a long time, where everyone pretty much who goes loves what he has to say and either understands what he is trying to say about, acceptance, or his misunderstanding about communities and stuff. And yeah, when he opened with that trans joke, I felt the same thing you felt where I was just like, enough. Like, I get that this is still now your thing, but Dave, for a long time, this wasn't what you were known for.
I know.
Now it seems like this is all you want to be known for.
That's how I felt a little bit. I was just like, yeah, just stop swinging at people. Like, I don't think it's punching down. I don't think all the things that people are upset about. I was just like, ugh, like, God. It feels the same way where my dad texted me and he was like, who is that gay comic who hated trans people? And I was like, Ty Rivera? And he was like, oh, I'm going to get tickets right now to go see him. And I was like, that's not what Ty's saying.
Right.
Like, his jokes aren't, I hate trans people. His jokes are, like, around just, like, people complaining and making their life bigger than, and being, making their problems everyone's problems, all these things. But my dad is like, if you make any joke about trans, he's in.
Yeah.
And that's, like, Chappelle was, pandering to my dad. Yeah, that's what it felt like to me.
Right.
And I'm like, if your whole thing is like laughing at the right side of the joke, that's like your thing. And I felt like it. I enjoyed the special. Chappelle's great. Who am I to even step into the ring to even discuss Chappelle? But my opinion was just kind of like a couple of those jokes are pretty stupid. The one about the Titanic was also really fucking stupid.
Yeah, really dumb.
And he talked about that. He's like, I know this is dumb, but I like to do it. And that did make me like him. That was like, that's comics to me. Like, comedians.
Yes.
That was like the comedian heart that I was like, yes! And you never see comics do that on a special. So it was fucking cool. Anyway, who's your freak?
My freak of the week is Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
Fuck!
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This movie is so... No, first of all, it's derivative of every movie ever made in any genre. Westerns, samurai flicks, sci-fi.
Yeah.
It is basically... It rips off Star Wars and Seven Samurai, Bug's Life, which is also Seven Samurai. It rips off Harry Potter and Inglourious Bastards. It does every movie, every good movie or every popular movie. It does it in this movie.
Wow, I haven't seen it yet. Still,
you gotta watch it.
I hate Zack Snyder, man. I fucking hate him.
I was so excited when it came out because it's also like I'm at a point with it now where I pretty much think and guarantee because what I hated Army of the Dead. I didn't even.
Was that Zack Snyder?
Yeah,
it was fucking dog shit.
I didn't even want to watch it, but I love Batista, so I was like, I'll give it a chance.
Brother, that had all the makings of a good movie.
Yes.
The only problem is Zack Snyder.
Exactly.
It everything about it was cool.
Yes.
Even the plot.
I know.
Everything was fucking cool, and it it's like watching a diver go up to do a dive and just land on concrete every time.
Or they're about to hit the pool, but for some reason they aimed too far and they smacked their head on the
every
fucking
time.
side of the pool, and there's blood everywhere, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!"
And then it's like slow mode, and then you get an extended cut where it's like a 20-minute fall, and you're just like, "Fuck you, man!"
Yeah,
literally,
and he's doing that, and this movie filled to the brim with slow motion, and it's not pertinent to the scene. It truly is just in there because he likes it. I'm just convinced that he loves slow mo because I thought it was pointless in 300, and that's where
is that Zack Snyder?
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
Everyone was sucking his dick during 300, and I remember just being like, this isn't for me. I don't really like 300. I just didn't like it.
Maybe I haven't seen it in a million years, but when I was a kid, that was tight to me.
But the thing that I hated about it was the slow-mo smack into somebody, then the speed up back into slow-mo, where I'm like, dude, it would be so much more impressive to me. Because there's scenes in that movie that are super cool that also are slow motion. Like when all of the Spartans are kicking that army off the cliff, and it's like the sun is coming down, and they're just slowly falling off. Or when the main character, Gerard Butler, kicks the messenger into the hole, and that this is Sparta moment. Kicks him into the hole, and it's just like, and you're realizing like, it's like that slow mo, and those moments make a lot of sense. But then when the fighting is happening, and it's like, and it's now in slow motion, I'm like, no, let's see the fight. Because then when you look at the warehouse scene in Batman versus Superman, where Batman is killing those guys, it is so well choreographed, so well done. It's crazy how good it is. It's one of the coolest Batman sequences of all time. And then you watch Rebel Moon, and you're like, you didn't want to do any of the cool shit. It's like he wanted it to look cool. It looks bad. The CGI looks like a PlayStation cutscene.
Really?
So bad. It's so
That was like the
so
only
bad.
reason I was gonna watch was for cool CGI.
It's not. The CGI stinks. And then fucking Anthony Hopkins is narrates the movie from the start. He narrates it at the start, and then you find out he's basically playing C-3PO, and then you don't see him for the rest of the movie, and then he narrates the end of it, and
there's like a part 2 coming out. Yeah.
Rebel Moon Part 2. This one's called Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. So you would
Did
think
people like this movie?
no.
Why do we have it a part 2 already when Cowboy Bebop, which was a perfectly mediocre show, perfectly fine, left us on a cliffhanger and we don't get a part 2?
Yeah.
But Dick Snyder gets another one? I don't get it.
And
Whose son is he? Who's his dad?
I think it's Jeffrey Snyder Epstein.
The only solution, dude. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's so bad. I gave it a terrible score. I was also, the reason I'm geeking out about it is because there's a part 2 and there's an extended cut coming out of part 1 where there's going to be the the movie starts out with these stormtroopers who are about to rape this girl, and then the main character comes in and goes, I'm going to kill all of you for sexually assaulting this poor girl. And then you're like, that was stupid. Like the fight sequence that takes place it's pretty much all slow-mo, and it's like, this is bad and stupid. And she's also twirling a lot, and you guys have your guns trained on her. She should have been dead 19 times before she had a chance to put a bullet in your brain.
Man.
And then the rest of the movie is her going from planet to planet collecting her team, her 7 samurais, to fight.
It's like the MacGruber scene, where he's anyway.
It's kind of like that. There's a sequence where they set up a woman who's half spider, and her eggs won't grow. It's just like randomly we get plot down in this scene where this samurai chick comes out with these red lightsaber swords, and she's like, stop stealing kids in our community just because your eggs won't grow. And this giant spider woman goes, no, I'm going to eat this little girl. And then they get into this fight. And then, spoiler alert, the samurai kills the spider woman.
No way.
And you're like,
why?
What the fuck?
Like, what was that?
What a cool concept for a movie all by itself. Just have this half spider woman be the antagonist. And then the samurai laser sword girl be the protagonist, and then that's the movie. I want to watch that.
There's a
movie.
Rick and Morty element to what's happening to sci-fi and Marvel and whatever now, where it's like in an infinite galaxy with infinite possibilities. Like every character has to also have its own movie that you don't get to see. It's like what was beautiful about Han Solo was we didn't know what Han Solo did.
Mm-hmm.
We got little highlights of it,
Yeah.
like with people being like, Jabba wants his money back. And you were like, what the fuck does that mean? But we didn't even know who Jabba was until Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Unless we got that cutscene, which they've now added, where Han has that conversation with Jabba.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. I hate that they did that because I loved the reveal of Jabba in Return of the Jedi, which is very cool. Anyway, I just think movies now are really fucking bad. And speaking of movies that are not bad, have you seen Self-Reliance?
No.
Jake Johnson, who played Nick Miller from New Girl.
Yeah.
It's his movie.
Uh-huh.
He has 2 movies on Hulu. We just watched the other one a couple weeks ago called Ride the Eagle. Someone else directed it. Like, I don't know if he wrote it, but Ride the Eagle, fucking amazing. J.K. Simmons, Jake Johnson, amazing.
Okay.
You'd love it.
Okay.
But last night we watched Self-Reliance.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, I'm telling you, this is like the most fun I've had watching a movie in a long time. It is so fucking funny and like scary and edgy. Jake Johnson, Andy Samberg's in it.
Oh yeah,
The girl
I saw
from
the
Pitch
trailer.
Perfect is in it. Anna Kendrick. Dude, it is fucking awesome.
I love it.
It's the like he agrees to play a game where he can be hunted for money or hunted and killed. He like
Mhm.
agrees to sign his life away, but if he makes it 30 days, he gets the money, and the only catch is if he's with somebody, they can't kill him. That's the premise of the movie.
That's great.
Dude, it was so fun.
I want to see that. That
Yeah.
sounds. Yeah, I saw the trailer and I was like, that looks good. I want to check that out because I also liked Andy Samberg's movie he made with Hulu, where it's Groundhog's Day,
Dude,
but in Palm
That
Springs.
movie was so fucking
Palm
cool.
Springs is a great Groundhog's Day sequel.
Very cool
It's
movie.
so good. I like Groundhog's Day sequels.
Yeah.
I think every movie that has the Groundhog's Day plot device, to me, in my category, it's a sequel to Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Where this just kind of keeps happening. There's a Tom Cruise Groundhog's Day. Now there's an Andy Samberg
Dude,
Groundhog's Day.
Tom Cruise one was cool.
I love Groundhog's Day movies.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're just, I love the concept of being able to relive your day over and realize if I did this differently, this new thing
Get a
gets
little
to
further.
happen.
Get a little further.
Yeah.
It's
It's
very
cool.
very cool.
It's
Yeah.
so cool. It's such a cool concept that it kind of trumps time travel for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge time travel, love a movie that has time travel, even when it's bad. Because I like to pick apart the time travel. I love the concept of somebody going, I'm going to spend all this time on someone going back in time and how it would affect the future. And
then
the
you're like,
reality of the situation is the grandfather paradox.
yeah, it's
you,
just pointless.
you can't. What you're doing in your movie, like the Back to the Future sequel, or even the time travel in Back to the Future doesn't make sense.
You can't.
Marty McFly can't go back in time and change the timeline. That's just, he can't do it. His life would remain the same. Yet the movie's still a blast. It's
Yeah.
still so good.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta bounce to get to my show.
Get
I
out of
forget
here.
that
I gotta get out of here too. I
hour
got a
15.
show. We both
Where-
got shows.
Where are you?
I'm down in Pacific Beach.
Oh, fuck yeah. Are you on Raph's show?
Yeah.
Dude, rock on. Well, we have Going Dutch, Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
in Pacific Beach, right?
Yes.
And that's going to be a big deal for us. Please get tickets. Come out and see us. Come support us.
It's gonna be a great show.
Keep paying attention to what we're doing. We're about to be putting out a lot of content this year.
Yep.
This is going to be a big year for us. I'm Short Jakes.
I'm Kane Holloway. If you want to email the show, goingdutchcomedyshow@gmail.com. Follow the show on Instagram. You can see all these clips and live shows at Going Dutch Comedy on Instagram. I'm at Kane Holloway on Instagram. He's at Short Jakes on
Short
Instagram.
Jakes.
And don't forget to subscribe to the show.
Yeah.
Share,
helpful.
subscribe, do all that shit. If you enjoy it on your podcast listening device, we would love and also a review. Give us 5 stars and review the show and say, I love this show. I love these guys. This show's amazing, and I love everything about it.
Or say, I hate these guys. I hate this show. I hate everything about it. Either way, that's cool.
It's cool. 5 stars. All right. That's the end of the show. Everyone say goodbye, Jake.
Bye, Jake.